Hello, Africa. Hello, world. Hello, Nigeria. It's amazing to be here again. And I'm so excited to be sharing with you this evening. This is Lagos, Nigeria. And this night we have a very interesting topic, which is 12 signs that you are addicted to pornography, right? 12 signs that you are addicted to pornography. However, in this particular video, I'll be sharing just six, all right? In my next video, I'll be sharing the next one, all right? All right, so yeah, we are live. All right, so ensure you tell me where you're watching from. What is your name and where are you watching from? Okay, what is your name and where are you watching from? Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining in this night, and we're going to be having a very beautiful moment. Okay, so basically, the first sign, or before I go into the six signs that you might be addicted to porn, let me quickly give a brief definition. So, talking about addiction, it's simply a psychological or physiological process, that it manifests in different habits or characters and is usually you know compulsive. I mean, it's usually something somebody does repeatedly that makes them feel better, and gives them some sense of relief or pleasure in a short while, but in the long term has very grave consequences. Okay, and another thing about addiction is that most persons who have issues with it, they continue to use it, or if it's an habit or if it's a drug, they continue to indulge in it despite the obvious negative consequences. They cannot stop because they don't stop because they cannot stop. All right, so let's just head over into the steps right away. So the first sign that you are addicted, all right, to pornography is, now before I go into that, let me tell you something. I'm going to mention about six, right? But if you are addicted to, if one of the signs is a sign to you, then you are definitely addicted. So even if you score everything and it's 1/6, or 2/6 or 6/6, 1/6 is as bad as 6/6. So even if it is just one of these signs that you have been noticing or you have noticed in yourself or in your character, you are definitely addicted. Thank you for joining. In the comments, let me know what your name is and where you are watching from this night. All right, thank you. Do that quickly. Thank you, thank you. If you're watching from YouTube, all right, ensure you type in your name, all right, or Facebook rather. Type in your name so that StreamYard can give you access. All right, so your name can show on the screen. All right, so thank you, thank you. All right, so let's continue. I said number one is, if you cannot stop. Yeah. So when persons are thinking, am I addicted to pornography? Am I addicted? So I give them this simple test. This is what you do. Number one, try to stop it. All right. Like I said, this is a very, very definite test, self-test. How to know you are addicted to pornography? Number one, try to stop. Right, try to stop. If you cannot stop, then you are addicted to porn. If you cannot stop, this is a sure banker. I mean, if you've tried to stop it, maybe you told yourself, God, if I do this again, kill me, and you did it again. Maybe you've told yourself, I swear I will not do it again, and you still did it again. Then you are addicted, my brother. All right, seek help. So if you are addicted, Samuel Boluwatife, good to see you here. Thank you for joining in. All right, so if, like I said, if you have tried to stop pornography and you cannot stop, or you failed, all right, you are addicted. Or let's say you even relapse. You tried for one day, you were able to stay for like 2 days, you were sober for 3 days, or you try and you realize that you keep failing over and over again, you are addicted. All right, so number two, if it makes you lose focus. So there are certain persons that when they are using pornography, they find it extremely hard to focus on other things. Now, why this is true is that pornography attacks a part of your brain that is responsible for, number one, attention, and number two, memory. So that part of your brain that is responsible for these two functions rather, is usually attacked when you use pornography, and the result usually is that you get distracted, right? You get distracted very easily. and then you realize that you just cannot stop no matter what you do. You find it very, very hard to actually concentrate and focus. So if you're easily distracted from your routine, from your daily task, you find out that you are no longer meeting up with targets, you are dwindling in your productivity, your everything you're committing to, you're just getting distracted. Let's say you just pick up your phone to read or to reply something, and 30 minutes, 1 hour, you're already gone into pornography. You are addicted. You're trying to, just read something and do something productive, but your mind cannot focus, right? You are addicted. So number three is like number two, all right? This session should be about 20, 15 minutes, Rabia. I'll be running off soon, so I need to pay close attention here. So number three is, if you discover that now this is similar to the second one, but it's a bit different. But this one is more of your thoughts, it's your fantasies. So most times, especially when you have something interesting on your mind, you want to engage your mind so that you can keep it active. So let's say, for instance, you are, we think of many things, we fantasize about many things. For someone who has a passion to be great, there are times whereby in your mind you're thinking of a day you are speaking to thousands and thousands of young people out there. You're thinking of the times where you are engaging people, and then you're encouraging them, you're inspiring them, you're moving from nations to nations, from continents to continents, inspiring millions of lives. You fantasize about that day. You are still that poor guy somewhere, but you're already thinking of how you're going to make money, how you're going to, become wealthy. You see yourself driving this kind of, vehicle. You see yourself living in this kind of house. You see yourself going on vacations for weeks. And even though you're still in that tiny, dark, broke room, you see greatness ahead. So that's fantasy. That's more like a vision in your mind. It's a mental picture. So for some persons who are addicted, it is that they cannot keep a thought that is not sexual. Every single time their mind is dominated by sexual fantasies. So if you discover that you have sexual fantasies in your mind, always, you are addicted to pornography. You are addicted to pornography. So if all you think about is pornography, is about breast, is about penis, is about vagina, is about masturbation, is about sex, you are addicted. Why? Because your brain has been hijacked. It's called the hijacker. The hijacker has seized your brain. You can no longer think for yourself. It feels as if you want to run crazy sometimes, because your brain is just dominated by these thoughts. Looking one look at a young fine man, you begin to think of the person naked. One look at a very beautiful young lady, even if it's not beautiful, your brain has been trained. Remember, addiction is a learning process. I've taught you that, right? Addiction is a learning process. So if your brain has learned that anytime it sees a girl, you should naked her in your mind. Anytime he sees a guy, you should think of the person sexually. So if you discover that you cannot hold pure thoughts, your thoughts are distorted, they are sexualized already. There is this hypersexual perspective your brain has embraced. You are addicted. Number four, the fourth sign that you are addicted to pornography is that you discover, okay, that you are no longer interested in your partner. All right, let's say you are married, and then your wife does not interest you anymore. You begin to pick quarrels at what she does. When your wife cooks, she doesn't know how to cook anymore. When she dresses, you insult her. Why you dress like this? It's not because she's dressing badly. It's because you have been exposed to a high level of dopamine through pornography, which has trained you to, to live in to live in a false world, because you are now equating your wife to that figure in the pornography movie you're watching. And then you realize that your wife is not meeting up to expectations with this person you are modeling, and that way you begin to feel disassociated from your wife. You feel she is not up to standard. She begins to fall short of that standard you have built up in your mind, and then your attraction towards her is likely to reduce. Also, because you have now, of course, let me just tell you this: when you begin to masturbate, or especially for pornography, you already have a second partner. There's no, it's cheating. All right, it is cheating. Pornography is cheating on your wife. In case you don't know, pornography is not you trying to self pleasure yourself. it is actually cheating with you because you are seeing the nakedness of another person. Your sexual fantasy is attracted to that person. Your sexual expectations is connected to that person, and this explains why, even for a man, all right, if you I don't want to digress, but let me explain this, it's going to help you. So, in case you find anybody, this can relate, who is a man, and he says he's attracted to a fellow man, the person probably watch pornography. Yeah. So if somebody says that, that's what happens most times. A man will just wake up and say, I'm attracted to a man. I feel like having sex with a man. It is not because you are possessed, not really because a demon is after your life, or not because you were not even born like that. That's a fact. Nobody is born gay, all right? Nobody is born gay. That's scientifically proven, all right? It's spiritually proven. So that's baseless argument. Nobody is born gay. So what happens is that it's either you were molested when you were young, by a man or by a woman, so you feel attracted to the opposite, to the same sex. That happens. But this one I'm explaining is a different one, because when you begin to watch pornography, you're not just watching the woman himself herself. A man is touching the girl. A man is having sex with the woman in the pornographic movie. So what happens is that as you are watching pornography and you are satisfying your sexual pleasure by yourself, as a woman, you are seeing a man also. Your attraction nerves, all right, are connected to the woman as well. So you can wake up the next day and begin to see your friend who is a female, and you feel attracted to her. Do you understand? So it happens. So if you're a man and you're using pornography, you begin to see your sons, you begin to see your friends, you begin to see your colleagues who are guys, and you're attracted to them as well, because you see men in sexual acts. And so your mind cannot differentiate. Do you understand? So that happens a lot to people who use pornography. So implication, pornography can trigger gay tendencies in you. I know you probably haven't heard this before, so learn it now. And don't forget, pornography can trigger same-sex attraction in you. Pornography can trigger same-sex attraction in you. So let's go back to what we're talking about. Signs of pornography attraction. Number four, like I said, is that you feel less attraction to your spouse. You don't feel attracted to your husband. When your husband touches you, you are not sexually moved. When your wife undresses before you, you feel like it's a log of wood. Why? Not because the person is not sexually attractive. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Not because the person is not sexually exciting, but because your sexual fantasy has been attracted, or let's say attached, okay, to some superficial figure in a pornographic movie. I hope that's clear. So the next one, what other sign can you see that makes you, thank you for joining me, Fortune, it's a pleasure having you here. All right, so it could trigger, one of the signs that you should also watch out for is that you prefer pornography to, now this is a bit different from the other one, all right, but I think I've explained everything together. So you feel like your wife is no longer satisfying you. Now this is a logical explanation, because when you are when you use pornography, you already have expectations, you already have you have the styles you want to try out. Probably they hung one leg on the fan, the second leg on the ceiling, and then you want to try it out on your wife, and she doesn't agree, or she's not good getting it, she's not good at it. Or you as a lady, or a woman rather, who is married, you see the pornographic models doing certain things, and I've told you those guys are on drugs. Pornographic actors are usually on drug, and some of them are under what's it called, influence, right, of threat of violence, so they are not in their right state of mind. That's why they can go for hours. But you, a human being, not a robot, you want same expectations, which is very, very unrealistic. So pornography makes you build unrealistic mindsets towards sex and sexual expectations in your bedroom life. So if you're married, pornography is going to wreck your marriage. Pornography will wreck your marriage. Meanwhile, it's going to start with you. It will wreck your marriage, but it will start with you. Okay? So as couples, steer clear of pornography. Pornography has been proven to be a leading factor for erectile dysfunction. So if you are a man and you use pornography a lot, your sexual attraction will reduce, all right, to your wife. So it doesn't spice up your marriage. I don't know if you've heard that lie. Maybe in another video I'm going to talk detailedly about that, how pornography destroys your marriage. All right. One of these days I should actually do a teaching on that. So pornography destroys marriage, and not just that, it destroys the partners, not just the marriage itself. I mean the people in the marriage, the man, the husband, right, and the wife, the woman. It destroys the both of them individually if they are addicted to it. All right. If they use it, all right. So whether you're addicted or not, pornography affects you. Okay. So let's move on. Yeah, I was saying, you will realize that because you use pornography always, you have very unrealistic expectations of your partner, and then both of you cannot meet up because these guys are simply robots who have been engineered to do according to the script. In case you don't know, it's a movie. I've told you, it's a movie. They act according to the script. Just the same way you have film tricks in Hollywood, whereby, okay, let me know, let me use I think Bollywood. You know Indian movies. Probably you've not watched them, but you've seen a couple of these mock videos online whereby somebody just punches a wall, and not punches, even somebody just touches a wall and the wall breaks. Somebody just nods the head, and everybody's heads fall off. Somebody just stamps on the feet on the ground, and the ground opens up. Very unrealistic expectations. So pornography is like film trick. It's not real. So you want to model that in your sexual bedroom, you are going to fail. All right, you put pressure on your partner, on your wife. I don't want to use the word partner because I don't talk to people who are not married concerning sex life. You should have no business in the first place. So if you are here and you're not married, and I'm talking about this, I'm not talking to you. Okay, I'm talking to people who are married, because only married people should be having sex. You are not married, you're having sex. It's not just a sin, it's an abomination. Do you understand? So let's continue. Now, basically, if you are using pornography, you're going to be causing a whole lot of havoc and wreck on yourself first, and then your partner, and also your marriage, because you're going to be denying your partner of yourself, which is emotional torture. You're torturing your partner because you of your selfishness. So if you use pornography, you should get help today. Exactly, you're laughing. That's right. You should get help. So let's move on to the next one. I think it's number five, right? If you find out, okay, that okay, I'm trying to see which one should I mention. So if you discover that you also have this sign, then you should watch out for yourself because you are addicted to porn. All right. So if you discover that you always want to use it as a form of escape. Now, one of the major reasons people use pornography is for boredom, and that's why I always tell you, discover purpose. When you discover purpose, your struggle towards sexual immorality will reduce. Why? Because you'll be busy, you'll be engaged, your mind is productive, you're not just lazing around, you don't have mental laziness. So mental laziness is one of the leading causes why people use pornography. You're lazy, you're not busy, so you have time. If you don't have time, you not watch porn now. It's because you have time. You don't have time for productive things. So that's what happens. So laziness, or let me use the word boredom. So what happens is that when people are bored, they want to use pornography to while away time. So if you notice that whenever you are bored, what you do is to watch pornography, you are addicted. Why? Because you are running away from being productive, and see pornography as an escape route to that pleasure. All right. So you notice that you whenever you're stressed, whenever you have anxiety, you're anxious about something, maybe you're worrying about something, and then all of a sudden you just discover that you begin to use pornography, then you might be addicted. All right. So let's move on to the last one, and I'll just stop there. All right. So this is the last one. You realize that it affects, I think I mentioned eight now. I don't know, but let's just, I think I mentioned seven already, but let me dash you this. In the next session we're going to talk more about it. So if you notice that um your relationship with other people is getting affected. Somebody reached out to me recently, or I was speaking to a client, and he said that his family is now, everybody hates him, not like hates him, but they are tired of him because he's so secretive. He doesn't talk to them. They've discovered that he had very 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 disruptive and uncomfortable sexual behaviors. It got to a point they discovered he started doing so. His relationship with his family has been destroyed. His father now dislikes him like hell. His father dislikes him. His mother is tired of him. right? So if you notice that your relationship with other people is getting affected because of your pornography habit, you are addicted. Why? Because it is affecting you. It is affecting your relationship with your partner. Let's say you are in a courtship with somebody, you are hoping to get married to them, and then the use of pornography that you are indulging in is affecting your relationship. My brother, you are addicted. Auntie, go and seek help. You have a problem. And yes, for the records, I don't like to call it a problem, but it is a problem. So let us switch it up a bit. You have a challenge, okay? You have got a challenge. Go and fix it. All right. So if these 7 or 8 signs I've mentioned, is recurrent in your life, then you are addicted. Please. The first step to break out of any addiction is honesty. Many people don't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you. Right? I'm here to help you. You know that anytime you notice that you are getting addicted to something, the very first thing you need to do is not to cry or pray. All right, prayer is good. All right, but this is an habit. So if you have watched my video on TikTok, I've told you how that deliverance will not deliver you from addiction forever. Why? Because any deliverance that comes without knowledge is a waste. If a pastor delivers you and say, oh yeah, out, 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 and does not tell you, oh yeah, in, change your habits, change your friends, change your this, and you don't do that, my brother, you go back. So deliverance is not complete without instruction. It's not complete without education. It's not complete without knowledge. So after you get delivered, after you pray and all of that, hey, go and learn. So the first thing is honesty. You have to be honest with yourself. Even God cannot help you when you're not ready. Bible says if you have faith, eh, you will see the glory of God. All right. But if you don't have faith, what happens? So faith is that thing you need. That is the belief that you have a problem. So if you're honest with yourself, that bro, I've got a problem. Sir, I need help. If you come to that point, then you are ready for help. So thank you for coming around. I believe that these things I've shared with you have gone a long way to help you. And I believe that many other people out there who are seeking help will find this as a helpful resource. Now, this is just a self test. If you now discover that you mark at least one of all of these signs, please seek help. Around this video, you probably see a link. All right. If you don't see a link, just put a comment and I'll respond to you. Or send me a DM on Twitter or Facebook, or excuse me, or make a comment under any of my TikTok posts or my videos rather. I will definitely see it. All right. But if you want to, get a quick response, just drop the comments under this video or send me a Facebook DM. I open all my messages. I may not reply all, but I do read all, especially on Facebook and what's it called, IG, all right, as well as Twitter. So ensure you send a DM so you can book a consultation session with me. I'll get on a call with you for an hour. We'll talk about it and then we'll recommend the helpful solution. So thank you for coming around once again. It's a pleasure to do this with you guys. Bolu, I see you, and then Fortune. Yeah, deliverance is not complete without instructions and knowledge. That's true. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you in my next video. That's next week, same time, Thursday. I'm a bit late this night because I started later. On a normal day, I'm supposed to start by 8, right? But for a few issues, I started 8:30 something. So next week is going to be 8 on the dot, and let's do this again. Thursdays, every Thursday by 8 p.m. Thank you for coming around.